Back again with another, the 21st century animal rescue, first responder, whatever the title is, who cares, right? It's more about what gets said than the title. I remembered something the other day. Let me go back a little bit. On Facebook, I subscribe, follow, whatever you call it on Facebook, to a lot of emergency responder, either suppliers, trainers, or individual departments. And so I read all kinds of different posts on there. And it made me remember a post that I had responded to on one of these emergency animal rescue groups. And I'm not talking about people who go and adopt animals from animal shelters, transfer them to their facility, and then put them up for adoption. I call that adoption or transfer. I'm talking about a group that's specific focus is emergency rescue. And it seems like the animal welfare community seems to be mixed up on what that is. I define it as any of the emergencies that fire rescue or EMS responds to, except for animals. Okay. So anyway, I can't remember the exact post, what the whole thing was about, but I do remember the way one of the people responded on there. And I made a comment, part of my comment was you got about a 50-50 chance of getting it right. Right? I mean, when you're making a decision for you're making a decision on what you're going to do, how you're going to respond to this incident once you get on the scene and size it up, whether it's a technical rope rescue, swift water rescue, trench, confined space, a vehicle entrapment, whatever it is, you got about a 50-50 chance of getting it right. I don't know anybody that I respect in the fire service or emergency services in general who doesn't assume that they're 100% right, that the decision they're making is 100% right, the right decision to make. They make it based on past experience, what they're seeing in front of them, and what they believe will work based on the training and experience, right? So that's why I say you got about a 50-50 chance of getting it right. If a leader, if the person that's responsible for making those decisions on the scene there isn't continuously questioning whether they are making the right decision every step of the way, hasn't thought the incident through. So that leads to another post that I saw about, and it was for horse, it's specifically to do with horses. And a veterinarian made the comment, well, they're either, if they're that sure of themselves, they're either arrogant or ignorant. Yeah, I love that post. I thought I saved it because I wanted to share it on this screen here so you could see the entire post and understand what was being said there. However, they were referring to somebody that's 100% certain about it. Even in a medical situation, you got your diagnostics, you have your protocols, you have your experience, your training, but you can't be sure that a medication that you're going to give that worked for the last patient that you used it for is going to have the same reaction. That's arrogance to assume that, or you're ignorant. Either way, or not you. The person doing that is ignorant. I hate to say it when I'm saying you because it leaves the impression I'm talking about the person who's watching this video. But that, like true, few times have truer words been spoken than that. Somebody who's 100% certain that going over the edge on a cliff is the right, 100%, no question about it, right decision to be making, hasn't thought it through. So that makes them either arrogant, ignorant, or both. And the way I interpreted this person over there on the animal rescue was, it was a level of ignorance. And, or, I'm sorry, not ignorance. Well, probably ignorance because of lack of experience, and then arrogance because of ego. And so this really boils down to ego, doesn't it? People who are ignorant either don't know they're ignorant or haven't taken the time to educate themselves, and the people who are arrogant automatically assume that everything with their ego not in check, but their ego's telling them, oh, everything that you do, say, think, or is just it. It can't even be questioned. And so that person said that I was impertinent for responding that way because I called him out on it. He didn't like it. I don't know about you, but I've never ever remember hearing the word impertinent used here in the United States. The only place I've really ever seen it used is in relation to the British, maybe Irish and Scottish, but for sure the British use it. And I had to look the definition of the word up because I'm impertinent. What the hell does that mean? So, if you're saying somebody's impertinent, that's your ego. Like, you can't be questioned. When I'm on the scene of an emergency, from the time I was a firefighter to the time I was to where my rank of lieutenant, now chief of Humane Emergency Animal Rescue, I expect the crew that I'm working with, the personnel that I'm working with, to speak up. If I miss something, they should be saying something. Hey, did you think of this? Did you see that? If it doesn't get mentioned in my personal plan, and my plan might not be the best one. So I'm always going to ask the crew that I'm working with, anybody else have a different plan that you think might work better than this one? And I want to hear what they have to say, because their idea, their plan, may be way better than the one I thought of, or I missed something. And it's not hard to miss something on an emergency scene. You try like hell not to miss anything important that could get your people injured or killed. That's really important to a good leader. And so I just had to make this video here about arrogance and ignorance in the emergency response field overall. So if that's police, fire, ambulance, animal control, animal rescue, the first aid squad, whatever it is, arrogance and ignorance will get people permanently injured or killed. That's really important to remember that. And that you should feel free. You should not have a fear of reprisal if you speak up. I mean, in my mind, an emergency crew has an obligation to speak up when they think they may have a better plan or an option. I mean, if somebody gets their little ego bruised because they're a baby, ask a question. Ask it in a question form. But that's not the person who's arrogant and ignorant like that. You don't want them to be a leader, and you don't want them to be so closed off from external input and ideas and suggestions that may be better than theirs, to the detriment of your own life, right? I think I kind of addressed this and made the points that I really wanted to make. I hope I didn't leave out anything. I'd sure like to know what you think. Please put a comment down below there, and give us your 2 cents, because it's always welcome on my crew or the team that I'm with. And I don't even like to use the words my crew. It's not my crew, it's our crew. We're a team. So it's not my team, it's the team, right? And whether you're here at Humane Emergency Animal Rescue or watching this across on the ocean somewhere in some other country, we're all on the same team as a first responder. We are. We're all on the same team, and we all have something to benefit from and learn from others. That's like the animal rescue postmortem series is all about that. All right? Yep, I guess that's it. Bye.